Hey everyone, welcome to this week's edition of Title Scoop. This week we're going to talk about power of attorneys. I know it's busy season and we're probably seeing a few more requests to use them, and people just seem busier and want to use them a little bit more. So I just thought we would go over power of attorneys this week. So first off, we're going to see some definitions. Every power of attorney is going to have a principal. The principal is the person who's signing the document and designating their attorney in fact to act on their behalf. So the next term is attorney in fact. Some states, just an FYI, do term that as an agent. So just know your state and what the terminology is. But the attorney in fact, which is the term we're going to use for this video, is the person who's nominated or designated by the principal to act on their behalf. Another word that you might see is durable. And again, it just depends on the type of power of attorney you're looking at, but durable just means that power of attorney, that document, continues through mental illness or incapacity. The last thing is a lot of power of attorneys are going to have a successor attorney in fact, and that's the person who is going to take over if the original attorney in fact can't act. So when you have a power of attorney and you're going to reach out to us, ask a few questions up front because it'll just help us along, because the first question every underwriter is going to ask is, why are they wanting to use the power of attorney? We need to know that, because if it's just because they don't feel like signing that day, we may not want to use it. But if there's a reason, again, it just helps us make the decision and helps us move it along a little faster. The other thing is, tell us about the transaction. You know, what is it? Who's buying? Who's selling? Is the son, who is the attorney in fact for mom, trying to buy the property? If so, we might be able to do it. Just again, it depends on what that document says. So some things to look out for when you have a power of attorney. Look for specific language. You might have one that's really short form, and maybe it's just for a transaction, in which case it's pretty standard what is and isn't okay. But if it's a power of attorney that has other terms, other provisions, we want to really know that the attorney in fact can do what they say they want to do. So if that's that they can convey the real estate, can they mortgage the real estate, that should really be specified in that document. Again, if durability is an issue, if we have someone who's incapacitated, there may be other things that we need in order to use that power of attorney. And then just as a best practice, some states require it, not all, but record the power of attorney if we actually do get to the point that we're using it. Some states actually are a little bit looser on that, but I usually tell people, as a matter of best practice, if you can get it recorded, record it. It just helps down the line if we have issues that we can see why a power of attorney was used. The other question that I get fairly often is, can a trust use a power of attorney or an LLC? And again, it really depends on the language of the trust. First off, if a trust is very specific and says that a power of attorney can be used, we just need to, again, see that trust document and see how the provision is written, and is it designated, is an attorney in fact designated, and really what that trust says. For LLCs, it's a little bit easier, and you will see from time to time where someone is designating someone to use a power of attorney for an LLC sale or mortgage. And again, it really depends on the transaction. So I know you hear me say this all the time, but when you have that, let us know. We'll look at those documents with you to make sure that you're not going to have any issues. The last thing, and this is my biggest pet peeve with power of attorneys, is making sure people sign properly. It sort of drives me crazy when I see someone who is the attorney in fact and say their name is, John Smith, and they put John Smith POA. They're not a POA. They're an attorney in fact. A POA is a document, and they're not a document. They're actually a person acting on behalf of another person. So the best way really to put that would be John Smith, attorney in fact for whoever the principal was. So with that, we'll call it a week. If you guys have any questions, let me know. If you have any topics also, definitely let me know. And we'll see you next week.